رحبوا معايا مع co-founder of Lemon Tree and our very famous beautiful chef ميرات علي. And then someone who's redefining, from my perspective, street fashion, Egyptian streetwear fashion in Egypt. Although she likes to be known as Amina K, بس هي أمينة خليل. Someone I just got to meet who reminded me of I forgot the name of the artist, but she reminded me of Abramovich. And Mayssa Wasfy, who's the fashion director of LMD, a very, very, very interesting person. A friend, someone I met in Guna Photo Week, حد اتعرفت عليه واتغرمت بيه وحبيته قوي, all over the place. She's an amazing photographer. بس ما بتحبش تقول إن هي she's an amazing photographer, بس هي she's the co-founder of a digital agency and controlling the digital world. Nirvana, banana extraordinaire. أنا بعد يعني آخر واحد خليته للأخير هو صاحبي وصديقي. إنسان بحبه وبحترمه. He's a fantastic designer, a fantastic architect, and I believe he's a multidisciplinary designer, as he likes to be called, Mr. Mohammed Faris. ومحمد بدر قال انه بعد البانل دي ليمون تري عازمنا على العشاء كلنا. فبس كل اللي موجودين هنا. انا بس كنت حاطط هيدا لانه ما بدي اغلط باسماء حدا, بس I'm not a nerd. طيب مرحبا. I'm so honored and I'm so stressed. فارس بيقول لي don't stress وكريم مختجيان بيقول لي اعملها لايتو بسرعه يا مودي عاوزين نروح فقشطه. cool. I'm gonna start with a few questions. أولاً يعني we are all here because of Cairo Design Week. We are all here because of Hisham Mahdi, who brought us all together, who created this amazing concept, putting a lot of people together. فأنا يعني مبهور بالأسبوع ده. I'll start my Q question with something. كنت بسأل أمينة خليل. بقول لها أمينة why أمينة كي؟ فقالت لي actually it's my dad. كنا قاعدين بندور على اسم وأمينة خليل عاوزة أعرف اسم, it's my dad who came up with أمينة كي. وبعدين she asked me to censor the rest of the. My first Q question to all of you, I told you gave me my cue because أول سؤال عندي كان إزاي your upbringing, يعني الطريقة اللي اتربيتوا فيها بتاعتكم, how did it influence whom you are today. فأنا هبتدي معاكي وبعدين ميرات وبعدين ناخدهم كلهم.
Oh, this works? Okay.
Everything works.
Hi everyone, nice to see you all here. I grew up in Cairo. First 14 years of my life I was on a farm actually, which was great. It was very with nature, very with the Egyptian culture. كنت مع فلاحين وعزبة قوي حيوانات وكده. And then I moved to the city. لا يعني مش compound, يعني really farm يعني. And then I went to London for university. I did a year in AUC because I was too scared to go to London the first year, even though my dad was pushing me to go. بس أنا ما كنتش لسه جاهزة. عملت سنة في AUC Mass Com, ما كنتش عارفة عايزة أعمل إيه, even though I wanted to be a fashion designer since I was 10. My father told me, يعني just go do it. I transferred. I did a summer in London, and then I decided, خلاص, I'm just gonna go. And it was the best decision ever because I stayed 5 years. I did a fashion design and marketing degree, and I had 2 years of interning at different fashion houses and taking so many different courses, from pattern making to makeup to photography to like taking any job I could get, yani, in a jewelry store, in like a warehouse of a fashion brand. And this exposure and experience was everything. Yani, till today, 12 years after starting my brand, I still remember things I saw there. So this is a bit of the background. And I came back to Cairo. I had started Amina K while I was in London, and back and forth I was doing that. And then it came to a point where I needed to decide whether to continue in London or come back and start a business. So I started it straight after university, and I'm here now.
واحنا سعيدين قوي انه you decided to take this decision. So the farm influenced the streetwear.
Maybe. No, but actually my graduation collection was a take on the typical galabeya, the typical abaya, the typical Egyptian fabric that you see, and that was like, I don't want to say 15 years ago.
A little
but,
more.
A little more, yeah.
1 plus
Mirat
5.
was one of my first models actually, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And زمان قوي, yeah.
زمان قوي
قوي قوي.
ميرات قولي لنا ازاي الطريقه اللي المطبخ بتاع اهلك او ازاي انت how did your home influence ميرات علي the famous
Actually,
chef.
أنا حاسة إن this is a spot on question بصراحة because يعني مين فينا مش بيفتكر أكل مامته أو جدته واللونجينج اللي بيحصل وكل الإيموشنز اللي بتطلع من أول ما بنفتح الباب نشم ريحة whatever it is بقى، ملوخية، بيقت بامية، بيقت محشي، ممكن حد يبقى من آخر الشارع عارف إيه اللي بيتطبخ في البيت، فدي أول حاجة that really had a huge impact عليا أنا شخصياً، إن أنا I grew up in a home, I wouldn't say a house, it's a home that was all about food, putting food on the table. جدتي الله يرحمها she was an extraordinary cook and a chef بالنسبة لي. although أنا مامتي طالع عليها سمعة إن هي ما بتعرفش تطبخ خالص بس all the appreciation and everything that I am now I owe to my mom and to my grandmother. My grandmother كل الريسيبيز وكل حاجة في البيت كانت تقريبا sustainable. أنا وأنا عندي like 8 سنين 6 سنين كنت بطلع على السطوح ننشف العنب عشان يبقى raisins، التوميتوز عشان تبقى sun-dried tomatoes. Little did I know or appreciate البروسيس دي زمان، بس دلوقتي طبعا now that I'm a professional chef in a professional kitchen كل الحاجات دي فادتني كتير، واتعلمت من مامتي ان انا اكون as much as I can sustainable، ودي حاجه من الحاجات المهمه قوي 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 في المطبخ، خصوصا المطبخ العصري. Now what makes a chef perfect يعني one of my colleagues كان لسه في دوكاس he was getting a course، عندهم هناك بيحاسبوا على 1 gram of waste. So the appreciation of what is granted to be on the table, what we very much take for granted، ده مهم قوي في البيت وفي البروفيشنال كيتشن. دول اكتر حاجتين ساعدوني او actually structured me to become who I am.
واحنا حاسين ده لما بنروح عندك. مستر فارس، اليوم عرفت انه محمد فارس درس فيلم اكاديمي and it explains a lot about one the look. ماي جلال تقول له انا مراقبك انت بتلبس ايه طول الوقت. ف it explains a lot about the look and it explains a lot about في سينوغرافي عند محمد فارس. يعني انا بحسك بتتخيل الاشياء قبل ما تبلش ترسم even البلان. فانا بدي اعرف محمد فارس as a kid او محمد فارس بالبيت. What made محمد فارس whom he is هلا؟
أول حاجة بس first of all أنا عايز بس أقول لأن دي أول فرصة إن أنا أتكلم في كايرو ديزاين ويك. أنا عايز أشكر الشام مهدي for bringing this هنا، وكل السبونسرز وكل الناس اللي شاركت وكل الناس اللي تطوعوا إن هم يعملوا ديزاينز، وبجد حاجة كانت المفروض تحصل، وهو الوحيد اللي جاله الشجاعة انه يجمع الناس دي. ف بصراحة شابوه. والفكرة كلها ان بجد ان مش هتكلم في الفيزيكال اسبكت ولا شكل البراندنج ولا شكل الحاجات اللي موجودة ولا شكل الكيان بيلدينج ولا ماجنتا ولا اي حاجة. انا بتكلم على ان دايما بيقولوا ان whatever اي حاجه physical design is not only what you see, it's what you feel and experience. الروح اللي موجوده دي والانرجي اللي انا شفتها في خلال 7 ايام is really amazing. دي حاجه ما تتوصفش ولا تشوفها في صور ولا تشوفها على بوست في انستغرام ولا تشوفها في اي حاجه. لازم you have to experience it وتشوفها مش معنى ان انت بتقول انا شفت كل حاجه في ديزاين ويك، نو. لو انت ما كنتش موجود في كل الاحداث اللي حصلت دي you missed a lot.
You have to feel it and live it.
Yes.
I agree totally. يعني that's very true.
ما انا هقول لك بقى مفاجاه عشان السؤال اللي انت قلته لي.
اتفضل.
اول حاجه انا راجل طول الوقت كنت في بيئه مصريه، كنت بلعب ووتر بولو في النادي الاهلي and a professional water polo, very strict environment. لو مش هلعب هيبقى عندي مشكله، لو ما وصلتش ان انا وصلت من السبعه الاساسيين هيبقى في مشكله. وكنتش عمري متخيل ان انا هخش حاجه ليها علاقه بالديزاين، وكان نفسي ابقى دكتور. لا this is a real story يعني.
wow. بس يعني went to the other extreme.
Yes. وكنت ثانويه عامه وجبت مجموع، وبابايا قال لي ان انا اخويا الكبير انا عايز ابني يبقى دكتور وابني يبقى مهندس. ف قلت له
انتوا
واخويا الكبير كان عايزني ابقى مهندس لان هو كاره الطب.
But he's a very famous doctor in Bahrain. And he's heading one of the biggest hospitals. أنا
Yes.
بعرف فارس وكريم مختجيان through alchemy from Bahrain. By the way, before I even met our legend alchemist Hone, بعدين before I met Karim, I saw their work. Before I met Muhammad, I saw their work in Bahrain. So his brother is a very, very famous doctor, heading the biggest hospital in Bahrain.
ف يعني to cut the story short، انا قعدت 3 اشهر مش متقبل ان انا هعمل اي حاجه في الهندسه، وكنت عايز احول لطب، وكنت بحاول اقول لابويا لا. ف اول سنه واحنا في اعدادي بريباريشن بتاعت كليه الهندسه حصل ان انا اول مره اسقط في حياتي، شلت ماده which is لان انا ما كنتش بحضر، انا ما كنتش بحضر اي حاجه. فاللي حصل ان بابايا قال لي لا لازم تكمل وكده. فدي كانت يعني القصه، ان انا ما كنتش متخيل طبعا بعد 25 سنه، دلوقتي بقى عندي 45 سنه and then I'm
قلنا من غير ارقام. بتقول لك 1/5 وبعدين وقفت على طول.
بس دخلت architecture. I graduated from architecture department جامعة القاهرة. ودايما طول عمري I believe in I don't want to label myself as an architect because I always trying to merge different creative practices in general. سواء كانت art, music, fashion, whatever, because it's all art. I don't want to label myself like this. And then I met my mentor كريم مختجيان and he believed in me. وعيل صغير بقى كده عنده 22 سنة.
قصدك ان هو اكبر منك؟
لا I don't mean that. بس يعني I really learned a lot from him. I really learned a lot of how experienced he was. He was returning back from Paris and وانا كنت بني ادم كده طموح فهو he conceived me and then we did it. We have been 23 years, 24 years
and then
together.
Magic happened. Yeah. We all learn from Karim every single day. Miss Abramovich, حد قال لك كده قبل كده ولا لا؟ طيب okay. She's an artist I love. A fashion director for LMD. اولا فكره انه يكون في a developer who hires someone in this position, for me it's really chapeau علشان I believe that it's the role of companies, of corporations to integrate art into their institutions and this is fantastic. So انا النهارده اتعرفت عليكي، مبسوط جدا بالموضوع ده، مبسوط جدا من اللي انت قلته لي جوه. I mean you're a consultant for Oscar de la Renta and Oscar de la Renta is يعني wow. أنا عاوز أعرف how did you end up being in the fashion? What happened in your upbringing that landed you in the fashion?
I lived abroad all my life and I went to school. Okay. Is this okay? Yeah. So I lived abroad all my life and I went to school in Switzerland. I lived in Europe for 5-6 years and then I came back to Cairo early 90s and that was another era. And I don't think a lot of people here are aware of this era in Egypt. So it was, for me, it was very surprising because, you know, Egypt is a beautiful country with a lot of culture, and then really there was no presence for fashion whatsoever. So I decided to go ahead and start my own brand, and then my journey started from there. From creating my own brand to learning merchandising to styling to I ended up a luxury fashion buyer in Qatar. I was buying almost 400 brands. I launched Chanel there. That was a major transition in my life. Yes. And then later, I was hired by Oscar de la Renta as their Middle East consultant. Then I started my journey consulting for US brands and European brands in the Middle East. After COVID, I had to settle in Egypt because all businesses all over the world were really shutting down. They were having difficulties continuing their business. واحنا في مصر كنا, I think this was a major awakening for Mostre. I was looking everywhere, you know, every day I was following up with everyone, new designers, new brands, there was so much creativity. It was really inspiring. And I gave it a lot of attention. I was observing startups. I started to consult for them until I had a dream for Egypt to see a Cairo Fashion Week.
Marina Abramovich.
Yes,
yes,
to
of course.
see a Cairo design district.
Dream.
And then the happiest phone call happened, and I got a phone call from LMD. And LMD is a company. They are known for they are developers. They are starting this amazing project full of creativity. It is the 190, and along with launching the Cairo Design District, they are also launching the W, the Autograph Hotel. They are creating a whole new luxury retail experience, honestly. They have the Kering Group on board, they have LVMH, they have all the luxury brands on board.
They have you.
Yes.
They have you. And
honestly, they are taking that role of inspiring and promoting designers. Not only from Egypt, but we are also aiming for the Middle East region. We want them to be recognized globally, inshallah.
That's nice. So, ده عشان
One day.
مش معقول يعني. تشتروا من عند GLC؟ ايه المقطع ده؟
في مباني كتير قوي
So,
كده.
sorry?
في مباني كتير قوي.
الدهانات. Nirvana, everyone knows you as Banana Extraordinaire. You created a brand. يعني أنا عاوز أقول لك, okay, Digital is a very good digital agency. Nirvana كل الناس بتعرفها. بس كنت بتقول لي مريم, بتقول لي Nirvana will be on board. قلت لها Nirvana فبحطت لي لها, قلت لها Banana يا بنتي Banana. How did Nirvana turn into Banana?
I've had the privilege, because of my father's work, to travel a lot. My father is a diplomat, so basically I lived in Japan, in Mexico, in New York, in Switzerland, in Uganda, in Poland, so I've done the tour. And this has actually shaped me so much in being very mindful of a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people, a lot of different music genres, a lot of different gastronomies, a lot of different fashion styles. So it also taught me how to deal with a lot of very different people. And I think that this is what I do. A lot of people don't understand what I do. A lot of people think I do a lot of things. But I actually do one thing. I do people. So I really, I just deal with a lot of people. And my upbringing helped me into that. So I co-founded Digitant almost 2 years ago. It's a creative agency. We create a lot of content. We help brands and individuals present themselves digitally to reach their optimum aesthetic, to be able to communicate what they want on their digital platforms. And I think my background really helped me into, like directing the vision of how the content is created, or you know, like how we help brands or how we help people develop a visual identity.
You are a people's person.
I hope so. I think so.
حلو جدا. I'm gonna take a cue from content. ميرات أول مرة فتت على فيلا كوكونات بالجونة كثير انغرمت بالمحل. حسيت إنه this is like it's all هيك neutral. I get affected by colors a lot. I'm a color person. Everything is so subtle. Everything is so هيك it's placed in the right place. وما فيش حاجة زيادة وما فيش حاجة ناقصة. it was just right. عارفة لما تخشي اوتيل تحسي انه it's super fancy بس it's not super fancy. Everything is super right. لما شفتك النهارده it explains because it reflects your personality. أهلا وسهلا. And the food is very very good.
Thank you.
When you start a new project, what is it that you think about? ما بين جونا ما بين عند LMD ما بين Lemon Tree when you start a project as a chef to curate المنيو what do you do where do you get your inspiration from how do you do it
Okay, first of all the creative process doesn't really I'll be very frank. أنا مش هقول إن أنا بقف قدام البحر وبعمل رملة والإنسبيريشن بيخبطني وحاجات كده.
في مروحة وشعرك كتير.
I can very much say إن بعد 10 سنين من benefiting from the greatest learning curve وأكبر محفز للشغل اللي أنا بعمله. خلي بالك الأكل أو الطبيخ من اكتر المهن being a chef ان انت بيجيلك an instant feedback. يعني instant يعني انت عملت اكله طبق طلعت على الترابيزه يا اما هتاخد حضن يا اما هتاخد بالبوكس. so اكتر حاجه مهمه في ال creative process بتاع developing a menu is appreciating and respecting the seasonality and respecting the client. By respecting the client is understanding ان احنا في المكان وفي الانفايرمنت اللي احنا فيه ده طبيعي الجست جاي ياكل ايه جاي يشرب ايه. انت حسيت you had a certain feeling من فيلا كوكونات يمكن بالذات it's a very sentimental place لان هو اول مكان اتولد واتخلق في الجونه. الناس كانت بتخرج فيه. كان اسمه تاباسكو زمان. ويمكن لو ما كانش المبنى ده بالانرجي بتاعته غالبا ما كناش عملنا حاجه هناك. لكن الانرجي بتاعته ادت الانسبيريشن. وعايزه اقول لك انه جونه على قد ما هي سيمبل على قد ما روحها كبيره. فلازم يكون الاكل ريفلكتنج المكان ده. لازم نفكر اليوم بتاع الناس ماشي ازاي. هم طلعوا على المركب خلصوا مركب راحوا مركب ما راحوش مركب هيجوا بدري عشان في هوا متوقعين ان هم ياخدوا ايه. المنيو لازم يكون في فول سبيكتروم في كل حاجه تعجب كل الاذواق. وباي كل الاذواق I don't mean ان احنا نعمل منيو عملاق بس باي كل الاذواق I mean ان احنا يكون عندنا تناغم وتناسق وبالانس في المنيو. يعني ما اقدرش ان انا اخلق منيو كله لحوم مثلا وانا عندي دلوقتي في الكوميونتي ناس كتير vegetarians وفيجنز.
مش انا.
carnivore.
I love meat. I'm sorry vegetarian people.
هقنعك بالopposite.
You love meat. طبعا Faris loves food.
Everybody loves food. Everybody should love food.
And in Indian culture food is love.
طبعا.
يعني
For anybody who's really living, food is one of the greatest forms of self-expression.
Oh, the man is here
يعني
by the way. Sham Mahdi is here. Sorry أنا مش قصدي أعمل لك entrance أنا خضيتك.
وعايزة أقول لك the maestro of food كريم مختجان is a an
Of course.
outstanding chef. So يعني
انا بزعل قوي لما بشوف حد
أنا
حاطط
بسمع عن
ستوري هو عازم
وأنت
ناس
مش
على
معزوم.
حكي بزعل قوي. You don't you go there بعدين he has a huge table in the house and he has this kitchen bar and then he has a beautiful setup بره وكده والراجل يعني عامل ديكور خطير. كل الناس قاعده حوالين البار سايبه البيت كله قاعدين على المطبخ.
طبعا. Concerning the most بقى part that is that should be honored and also respected is the aesthetic of food. يعني كتير قوي ممكن تلاقي حاجة طعمها حلو قوي بس شكلها صعب. ضيعت عليك الاكسبيرينس. فالthinking process علشان طبعا we're talking about design and design week لازم نفكر في بالانس الالوان بالانس الشكل وما نهتمش بيه اكتر من الطعم. فلازم يبقى عندنا تلت الاهميه طعم، تلت الاهميه شكل، تلت الاهميه the perfection of cooking.
ما هو يعني العين تعشق قبل الاذن احيانا او هيك شيء.
احنا عندنا في مصر في مصر بيقولوا العين بتاكل قبل
بالظبط كده.
و eat art is actually a thing now. So كل الموفمنت الكونتمبري is او معظم الكونتمبري gastronomy is now about sustainable food and art. How to
drawing the plate.
Yes.
انا I'll jump to فارس علشان انا مستر باكي جيت عندك قلت لك انا عاوز اعمل ساتشي. And then Sachi, the moment you open the door, you step into a totally different. كل الناس قالت, lots of people I know, we've been transported to New York, and I know how much you love New York. بس how do you لأنه there is not only an olfactory يعني أنت بتخش في ريحة للمكان محددة. في أنت عامل perspective للentrance to absorb people, and then when you sit to eat اصلا انت شبعت قبل ما تاكل عشان الاكل اكيد حلو بس انت you're enjoying the place and you feel good. انا I work with colors and then when you enter a place you need to have the balance. في غرفة العمليات الدكاترة بيلبسوا ازرق علشان بيشوفوا الدم فلما بيبصوا لبعض they neutralize it. When you I'm sorry for the لا بس قصدي انه when you go into this when you go into Sachi I took a very concrete example لأنه I think it's one of the most photographed restaurants in Egypt. You just have this عارف اللي هو هنقفل الباب على كل حاجة برا. We are transported in a different world. Not specifically about Sachi but about any restaurant or any specific retail and it affects us. كلنا بنزوره بنخش جوا. How do you tap into that? بتبتدي ازاي؟
أول حاجة لو بتكلم على Sachi بالذات because we created Sachi brand 8 years ago. I know very well how Becky started, how we من مكان في الكوربة كان في شارع باب صغير قوي مكان ما فيهوش شبابيك ولا أي حاجة مكان سقف واطي and then قررنا إن to build the brand identity of Sachi and it was one of the first fine dining experience in كان في اليوبس. And then we did it in ساحل and then مدينة عملنا في 6 أكتوبر. بصراحة I was lucky إن كنا إحنا في الأول كنا واقفين لسقف الدور الخامس قبل ما complete building وإحنا عندنا دور تاني ومن هنا وقفت القصة. طبعا كان في مشكلة إن الكونستراكشن لازم يمشي فقلت لأ أنا I will do the architecture and the whole place and the space architecture بغض النظر عن الانتيرير. and this is what transformed Sachi. لو كان Sachi موجود في مكان already موجود جوه architecture أنا ما أقدرش أغير فيه كان هيبقى مختلف تماما. I was going to treat it different than اللي أنا عملته. Sachi is a mix of my travel diary. Sachi is a mix of how I entered every single restaurant وانا بسافر في اي حته في العالم. Because when I travel I ما بعملش اي حاجه غير ان انا بروح ريستورانت.
بتاكل؟
طبعا. لا انا فاكر كويس قوي وانا مره في نيويورك وكنت بدرس في نيويورك فيلم اكاديمي وكان عندي ما بين سيشن وسيشن 3 3 hours وكنت عايز في 5 ريستورنت، عايز بجد مش والله مش بهزر.
راح الخمسه ريستورنتس
رحت
بثلاث
الخمسه
ساعات.
ووصلت الكلاس لان شربت كل درينك وخدت مسا. فوصلت الكلاس مش شايف حاجه
That was a food marathon. فين محمد رضوان؟ مشي شكله بتاع الكايرو. بدك تعملي when you're launching a new line بتفكري بايه؟ يعني بتفكري باللي حيلبسها. I think it was Valentino who said that a dress is soulless without the person wearing it. فقولي لي how do you get about it?
Every season it's different. وأنا usually it's the fabric. I start with the fabric. I go down to my fabric suppliers and I usually I'm in a mood. And when I see certain fabric, it will attract me to that. I get attracted or drawn to it, and it's just a mix of the different colors and the textures, and it really starts with the fabric. And I love taking a fabric that's meant for a couch and making a jacket with it. يعني or exactly الخيامية مثلا. I took the خيامية, I did shorts and I did vests and the kilim. The kilim.
One of the most successful
It was amazing.
innovations in the world.
You mixed it. ما حطيتوهوش
No, the kilim I did vests with it, and then the khayamiya وقتها I did shorts, I did dresses, I did a lot of the tradition. I started with the traditional Egyptian fabrics and working it in different ways and looking at it, not attaching it to what it actually is or how we see it. And I still do that till now. Like I'll pass a car and I'll see the cover of the car and the patchwork, and this will give me an idea for something, a jacket or a line of bags. And I love working with unexpected raw materials. This is what I love to do, and the things that you see every single day. So it's usually the raw material, and then because I have a ready-to-wear brand that dresses women for their everyday life, comfort is key for me. So I'm always imagining the woman that I'm dressing, the Amina K client, and how her day would be, and how I can give her comfort, and her lifestyle, and I don't necessarily think about an occasion or a dress or a silhouette. I design in a story, it's a collection, and just how it shifts. So yeah.
حبيت قوي I design a story because I believe everything is about storytelling. عشان كده حسألك كنت لما حد بيجي لك how do you Maison Pyramide is your client صح؟
We work with Maison Pyramide. We are a content creation agency. So basically, for example,
How do you create their stories?
exactly.
Oh,
So actually, I'll take an example because I've worked with Faris before on something very interesting. So what we try to do is communicate the vision of the client visually. So every client or every brand or every chef or every consultant or anyone in the world has their own identity, and every person has a certain vision or a certain inspiration. So Faris was doing a collaboration with Kahel on carpets. He had designed a series of carpets with Kahel, and we were actually doing the teasers for that campaign. So the inspiration of Faris, actually, it was one of my favorite carpets in the
حاجة
collaboration.
ليها علاقة بالأكل؟
ايه؟
حاجة ليها علاقة
خالص.
قال لك 5
لا،
مطاعم
لا.
ب3 ساعات.
صراحة ما كانش ليه علاقة بالأكل بس he was very inspired. The carpet he had designed was inspired by فاكر زمان أما التلفزيون القديم كان بيعلق مش كان بيعمل
أنا
كاروهات.
مش كبير للدرجة دي.
لا ما هو أنا حضرته فيعني
لسه
عادي
صغير.
جدا مش ملهاش علاقة بيك. بس his carpet was inspired by that. So the way we actually transmitted that is وقفنا فارس في استوديو لوحده and we projected عليه الكاروهات اللي هي الملونة دي كلها اللي هي ما كان التلفزيون بيعلق. ف it really depends, and we've worked a lot with chefs as well. So there are chefs that are so obsessed with, you know, like what Mirat was saying about how the food looks like, how, you know, like they present their food to their clients. So it really depends on the person you're working with. You have to understand very well what their goal is. What is the goal? Is the goal selling? Is the goal to create something visually pleasing? Is the goal, you know, like just something aesthetic? Is the goal commercial? So it really depends. When we work with Maison Pyramide, for example, Maison Pyramide does strategy, does concept creation, etc. We try to understand how they are you know, like creating a concept. What is the concept? When May called me and she was like, I'm doing the Cairo, the fashion district. I wanted to understand what her vision was, what she wanted to communicate, how she wanted the continuity. عايزة يعني تبين المشروع ده ازاي للناس. And this is how we started creating a visual identity based on that. So I think it really depends. You have to understand very well the person you are working with.
To tell his story or her story.
Exactly.
Mayssa, مسيو صبور لما اجى قال لك LMD صبور صح؟ انا مش غلطان.
مظبوط.
whenever بغلط بقول له معلش انا لبناني ما بعرف كل العالم. بالضبط حيزعلوا قوي. مسيو صبور لما اجى لعندك قال لك انه انا بدي اعمل الفاشن ديستريكت which is fantastic.
The design district, yes.
Design district.
Yes,
لا بس
yes.
انت you're a fashion consultant
Yes.
وحتعملوا a fashion. You were talking about high-end brand. I mean, getting LVMH, getting Chanel, getting whoever wants to come because Chanel بعدهم لوحدهم صح.
الحمد لله.
Hermes بعدهم لوحدهم. How did you start? Did you have the brands قبل ولا أنت you approached the brands? How did you convince someone like LVMH تعالوا افتحوا في مصر?
Honestly, Homa, they are interested in Egypt. They came.
Everyone's interested in Egypt.
Right
كنا
now,
فاتحين
everyone is
قفلناش.
interested to come to Egypt and to have a presence in Egypt. It's a very important market with all that's happening around the world. I think it's an emerging market and it's rising, and especially in fashion. So I think they launched the project at the right time. There is a specific interest in the Middle East region in general. There is a lot of activities happening, and I think having the design district in Egypt is combining fashion, art, and design. The main thing they want to provide a place like a platform for inspiration, really. It's not anymore that you have to travel and be. It's very difficult to get inspired abroad, looking for designers, following other designers, trendsetters. So bringing everyone to Egypt is going to create a platform for inspiration for everyone. And also including, they will do a lot of workshops, talks, mentoring. It's all
You're going
art
to bring
activity.
people
Yes,
together.
yes,
Because
yes.
design, as Faris is saying, is a multidisciplinary. We should all, and we all speak the same language. We all have one thing in common. We want the well-being of the people. And art, fashion, design, music, and then of course, and for me, perfume is art and design as well. Everything comes together. مش عاوز اطول كثير على الناس. ما اعرفش اذا احنا لطيفين معاكم. كله تمام. مبسوطين. في بكونسرت بتاع داليدا في لبنان كانت بتسالهم الله يرحمها يعني بتقول لهم مبسوطين فرحانين فانا عشان كده كان لازم اسالكم. عاوز اسالكم كلكم اخر حاجه بعدين I'm gonna ask people to allow people Q&A. انا عارف فارس انا كنت هسالكم انتوا بتاخدوا البريك ازاي؟ How do you take a break and how do you regenerate after that? مريم بتقعد مع مراد. كل ما اكلم مريم مراد بيزعق بالتليفون نفسي اشوف مراد. فارس بيروح المطعم. This is how he takes a break يا جماعه. How do you all take a break?
المشكله ان ما فيش وانت بتشتغل في حاجه ليها علاقه كديزاين انت عمرك ما بتاخد بريك يعني انت دايما دماغك شغاله هي دي المشكله
But you need to regenerate.
ريجنريت ماشي بس الناس يعني انا بتكلم ان احنا مخلوقين بطريقه معينه ان البريك بالنسبه لي ان انا I'm curious. Yes, that's
Life through your eyes.
لا بجد it's you will never because work for me is not work.
It's passion. And we can see it in your work. We can see it in your posts. We can see it in how you approach things. أمينة كي تقعدي مع باباكي بتاخدي بريك ولا بيحصل إيه بالظبط؟
لا زي ما فارس قال هو even if it's a physical break it's not a mental break and يعني I wish we could it's better if we do find a way because we can reach burnout and a lot of creative people definitely exhaust themselves and we need to take a break and I think for me being in nature would give me a break where I completely remove myself from any materialistic environment because then I'm just يعني going with the flow or enjoying nature. But
And I'm very curious, whom of the fashion designers you're really attracted أو تحسي إنه نفسي أعمل هيك بتغاري منه مثلا. أنا بشوف أوقات مثلا فارس عامل شيء بقول حط شجرة حمراء. This is gorgeous. أنا بدي أعمل هيك.
which fashion designers?
Yes.
I have a lot for different things. But مثلا Karl Lagerfeld.
She's very political.
No, it's very difficult. There are so many new designers, old designers, and each designer brought something to the industry. So Karl Lagerfeld is like the machine. Like no one knows how he did it.
How he kept Chanel.
And how he Chanel and Fendi and all and everything.
Specifically Chanel.
Yeah.
36.
No,
Yes.
he's something else. And then there is Ezzeddin Alaya, the structure, and so that each designer and the other up-and-coming streetwear designers, what they've done to the industry and completely shifted it, and it's crazy what they've done. So each designer has something different. I can't say there is one designer. Alexander McQueen, and yeah, I can go on for days.
You mentioned lots of the people I love, بس ده محتاج بانل لوحده يا مريم ويا ماي لو سمحتوا. How do you take a break? You go to one of your lemon tree restaurants, one of your resorts. You have how do you take? How do you regenerate?
Yes. Well, I'll be very frank with you. It's very difficult now to take a break. بالبيس والمومنتم اللي كلنا عايشين فيه في حياتنا, you can really not ever take a break. I'm a new mom, so I have two beautiful sons in my life. Not sons as in boys. I have daughters, but they are my shining sons. I would say the fraction of time that I get to spend with them, لأن time eternity مش هتكفي معاهم, is my only break. But having and owning a business and being part of a much bigger team that is continuously and constantly growing, انت لازم تبقى دايما موجود. You are the fulcrum of the يعني balance. Your appearance حتى لو ما قلتش حاجة, your presence, your existence, ان هم يبقوا عارفين حتى لو انت في الباكجراوند, for them to know that you are there and you exist. مش ان انت يعني مش عيب ان انت تاخد اجازة, بس you have to always be there.
You have to
always be there.
I understand.
You're the يعني I don't mean it in a way of leadership, but you are the captain اللي الناس مستنية ان هي تشوفك you're okay من غير ما تتكلم. Everybody else is okay. If you're not okay, everybody else is not okay. So this is very important.
Mayssa support بيعطوكي weekend, بيعطوكي break. Are they good? Are they good
I
with
am
you?
a meditator. So
مدينة برافونفيتش يا جماعة. لا العظيم أنا لا مش معقول.
This field taught me that it's necessary to really have some time on your own during the day. So I've been meditating for the past 15 years.
Oh wow. I wish I can do this. I try to والله العظيم بموت من الضحك. أول ما بوقف بعمل كده بموت من الضحك. Nirvana, other than partying and traveling all the time. مشكلتك إنه we know your life through Instagram. فقولي لي بتتعذبي يعني بتاخدي بريك من العذاب اللي أنت فيه إزاي؟
لا أنا I will take you from what Mirat was saying. It's very difficult to really take a break. It's okay of course to have like time of your own, you know, ان انت ممكن فعلا لو محتاج تعمل حاجة عايز to unwind or whatever, بس فعلا when you're a business owner and you are a creative as well, زي ما فارس كان بيقول, صعب قوي ان انت ما تبقاش موجود. صعب قوي ان انت يبقى في ناس معتمدة عليك ويبقى في ناس that are expecting you to show up even لو انت مش فعلا بتعمل حاجة concrete, بس مهم قوي ان انت تبقى موجود. ف I don't think I have anything else to add to what Mirat was saying than it is actually difficult when you're a business owner to really take a break. You can unwind and you can find what, you know, like makes you chill or, you know, just makes you unplug كده for a while, but to actually take a break I haven't been able to do that.
بدر مثلا كان في مرة عنده 24 مشروع بمكان واحد بيتعملوا بنفس الوقت. فكل التلاميذ في كوفنتري سألوه تاخد بريك ازاي يعني anyways, thank you very much. I want to allow people to ask. I mean, we have 5 magnificent leaders, entrepreneurs, inspiring people. You all inspire me. أنا قبل النهارده كنت بعرف فارس ونيرفانا. دلوقتي تعرفت على ناس. I hope I was able to يعني navigate a little bit through their personal, professional lives. فأي حدا عنده أي سؤال لأي حدا من الصبايا والشاب اللطيف اللي معانا. كله كان مفهوم وفعلا كده. Anything else anyone would like to add يعني before we end this beautiful session?
Again أنا برضو this initiative مع كمان بقول هشام لسه جاي وما سمعش اللي أنا قلته بس يعني Cairo Design Week is really a movement and let's continue let's make it bigger وده هيحصل بكل الناس ان هي تتجمع وشافت النسخة اللي انا شايفها ناجحة جدا وسكسسفل وان شاء الله اللي جاي هيبقى احسن بكتير with all the collaboration. ودايما بقول ان if you are alone you can do something but if we are all one team we can do a lot.
That's very
That's it. وبشكر فكرة فاشن ديستريكت مع هنا فيلا ماجنتا مع رامي اللي استضاف كل هذا الموضوع. Thank you very much. Thank you for believing in this and thank you.
لا actually I really want to say something. أفتكر مهم قوي to bring communities together, to bring artists, to bring designers, to bring architects, to bring fashion designers, to bring jewelry designers, to bring consultants, to bring people from all different disciplines under one roof. أفتكر ده ممكن يبقى أكبر نجاح الديزاين ويك حققته وأفتكر ده مهم قوي إنه we keep on capitalizing on that. I personally want to thank May Galel and I want to thank Maison Pimami for bringing us on board and wallahi فعلا and making us part of such an incredible week. And I wish you all the best for the coming editions and I'm sure they're going to be amazing, really.
You have nothing to say. حسيتك كده عاقلة قوي من أول القعدة. هي عاقلة كده عندكم في المكتب ولا في إيه يا جماعة؟ في سؤال؟
Excellent question.
What is Cairo Design District?
Excellent question.
So, Cairo Design District is a project by LMD. It will be in 190. The area is called 190. There will be the W Hotel, Autograph, the Cairo Design District, and this is physically there will be the office spaces. There's a retail space for all the brands to be there. There is a nice shopping area. But again, the core business I think for the Cairo Design District is to create the atmosphere or the right environment for designers to be there, inspiring them, promoting them, bringing in from abroad other designers and artists and fashion designers for mentoring, for workshops, for really helping all the young designers and startups to in their doing their milestones in their career.
عملت اعلان جامد دلوقتي. next year هتجيبي معاكي ماريت جروب بما انه دبليو بما انه مارين عاوزين ماريت as a sponsor next year علشان قعدت تقول WW autograph collection.
ان شاء الله next time Cairo Design Award ان شاء الله يبقى في الكايرو ديزاين ديستريكت.
لا ليه؟ عاوزين كايرو ديزاين ديستريكت بس the main initiative and I think that everyone agrees here of the design week is to revive the heritage of Egypt is to revive Heliopolis, is to revive downtown. كريم الشافعي هيحبني قوي دلوقتي بيجي لنا سبونسر وكده. كريم مختيجان is doing an amazing project that he will announce in due date. But we need, of course, we need a design district because there should be a design district where people would go and everyone would be there. But Cairo Design Week is main goal is to revive heritage. إحنا Milano, Brera, whatever, it's about living the city. And Faris knows it very well. Everyone who attended the Milano Salone and Milano Design Week, it's about reviving the city, and it's about literally the entire city goes into the design movement. Definitely Cairo Design District will be part. أنا مش عارف إذا يعني Cairo Design District will be part of Cairo Design Week because there's a much bigger picture, I think, than being in one location. It's about bringing the people, and art to the people, and people to the art. I always say IKEA vulgarized design, Cairo Design Week, Art d'Egypte. As well, sorry, I'm mentioning Art d'Egypte by Nadine Abdel Ghaffar because I believe she brought art to people. لما بشوف واحدة خارجة بالسوق وداخلة مكان شايفة فيه modern art, abstract, هي مش فاهمة بس the idea إنه أنا I touched her and she asked about it, I provoked her. Cairo Design Week created a conversation. Cairo Design Week brought people together, brought communities together, and brought these beautiful people all together. أنا architect ماليش بشتغل في الدهانات. And you're a consultant, digital. Faris is an architect, بيشتري من عندها إن شاء الله. And then a fashion designer and a chef. This is what Cairo Design Week is all about. It's about connecting people. وده مش يعني نوكيا بس. هشام مهدي is Nokia for me. He connects people. Sorry, as I كنت بس I wanted the Cairo Design Week to be full. Miret, do you have anything else?
I do. I want to first and foremost طبعا thank May for inviting me here. And Hisham, I salute you and all the hard and great work that is being done. What I want to say is that احنا في مصر بقالنا شوية exposed ل thresholds of different emotions since 2011. Emotions عالية, emotions واطية. يمكن من أكتر الحاجات اللي الناس بتتجمع عليها هي الكورة أو آراء مختلفة. أنا حاسة إن Cairo Design Week and hopefully CDD to come, it's a platform that would speak all languages, all colors, all emotions, and it will pave the way for artists of all spectrums. أي حد بيعمل art بيتنفس art لازم يكون جزء من المنظومة دي, ومش بس الأسبوع ده, لازم actually يعني Fashion Design District, Cairo Design Week, Cairo Design District تبقى بلاتفورم الناس بتجتهد السنة كلها عشان تشوكيس شغلها فيه. مش بس
I agree, and this would be the perfect brief of Cairo Design District. It's art, it's design all year long for people to go there and visit.
It's time for us بقى بجد to show
by
our
Mania.
creativity and to show our muscle. يعني خلاص, now it's time. Thank you.
And Amina?
Yeah, I would like to thank Maya as well, and I think this is a great initiative, and I'd hope that there is something like this that focuses on the fashion industry as well, and to show the process of the industry, not just the end product, not just to include the people, to understand the industry and the creative part of it, and to bring different brands, not just the top-end brands, not just the high-end brands, also the streetwear brands, the sustainable brands, to show the people the full industry. So I think this is really important.
Thank you, Faris. Anything else to add? شكرا جزيلا. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thanks to you.
Thank you.